You've finally gotten your hands on the rare sword you've been trying to make with the weaponsmithing tables. But now that you have it, you're not sure what traits to give it. Maybe you're confused about the crafting tables, or maybe you're not sure how a specific trait works. In this video, we'll explain anything and everything about crafting rare weapons. With the armor and weapons table at our disposal, we can see the traits our gear can possess. Rare weapons each get a weapon trait, a smith trait, and a special trait. Weapon traits are determined by the type of weapon being forged. Swords, for instance, get a bonus to critical threat, whereas axes get a bonus to critical damage. Smith traits are determined by the type of blacksmith forging a weapon. An elven swordsmith will give a weapon a critical threat bonus, whereas a dwarven swordsmith will give a weapon a critical damage bonus. Lastly, special traits are traits that you deliberately choose when crafting a weapon. As an example, let's say we're an elven blacksmith trying to forge a longsword. Our weapon is a sword, so its weapon trait is a +1 bonus to critical threat. We're an elf, so our weapon's smith trait is also a +1 bonus to critical threat. Lastly, let's choose a special trait. For this weapon, let's make it so our weapon inflicts 2d10 bonus damage against dragons. We've got some dragons that need slaying, and that trait could come in handy. When all is said and done, our longsword will have a +1 bonus to attack and damage, because it's a rare weapon, a +2 bonus to critical threat, because of our weapon and smith traits, and a +2d10 damage bonus against dragons, because that's the special trait we chose. Let's change things up. Let's say we're now a dwarven blacksmith. With our dwarven blacksmith, we're trying to forge a greatsword. Our weapon is still a sword, so its weapon trait is still a +1 bonus to critical threat. We're a dwarf, so our weapon's smith trait is a +10 bonus to critical damage. Lastly, let's choose a special trait that gives us 1d8 hit points whenever we slay an enemy. In the end, this weapon gets a +1 bonus to attack and damage, because it's a rare weapon, a +1 bonus to critical threat, because of our weapon trait, a +10 bonus to critical damage, because of our smith trait, and a special trait that gives us 1d8 hit points whenever we slay an enemy. Now that we've made our first weapons, let's take a closer look at some of these weapon traits and see what they mean. Attack is the term we use to describe a weapon's bonus to hit on weapon attacks. Damage is how many hit points an attack or effect removes from an enemy. Critical damage is how much extra damage you inflict on critical hits. Whenever you land a critical hit, increase the damage you inflict with that attack by an amount equal to your total critical damage bonus. Critical threat is a little bit tricky, but really strong. Critical threat measures how likely a weapon is to score a critical hit. Ordinarily, you only land a critical hit if you roll a natural 20 on an attack roll, unless you're playing a champion fighter, in which case you're basically just cheating. With bonuses to critical threat, you reduce the number you need to roll on your d20 in order to land a critical hit. With a +1 bonus to critical threat, for instance, you need to roll a 19 or 20 on an attack roll in order to critically strike. To determine what number you need to roll to land a critical hit, subtract your critical threat from 20. The result is the minimum number you need to roll in order to land a critical hit. For example, if you have a +2 bonus to critical threat, you need to roll an 18, 19, or 20 to land a crit. Reinforcement traits are special traits that allow you to add one of your ability modifiers to the damage you inflict with a weapon. For example, if you chose the trait which reads +damage equal to your constitution modifier, you get to add your constitution modifier to the damage rolls of your weapon. If you instead chose the +damage equal to your strength modifier trait, you get to add your strength modifier to the damage roll of the weapon. If you already added your strength modifier to your damage rolls, now you do it twice. Reinforcement traits are really strong, so you can only give a weapon up to 1 reinforcement trait, otherwise you'd be really broken. Lastly, we wanted to clarify the trait that reads +1d8 combat maneuver damage. One of our rule sets is combat abilities, which allows you to learn specific combat maneuvers that you can use in a fight. If you're a battle master, or if you're using the combat abilities rule set, you can choose a specific combat maneuver you know and increase the damage it inflicts by 1d8. With rare weapons, you can make your DMs hate themselves because of how busted your damage output is. For the DMs out there who may be seeking revenge against your players wielding rare weapons, consider checking out our rules on enhanced monsters. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Dungeon Creep.